Most of us are just assuming that Oleg Petrenko does not have a flop press to defeat Devon LARRATT, and it may very well be true. He may not have that move, at least not so strong that it is going to defeat Devon's top roll. But what we are forgetting is there is one more guy who did not have a flop press but then later on developed it, and that was Andrei Pushkar, Oleg Petrenko's teacher, his coach. And Devon keeps on talking about him. So back in 2011, when Michael Todd took Andrei's wrist, he was helpless. He did not have any press at all. The same thing happened in the 2012 Devon LARRATT left arm match as well. After the wrist was gone, Andrei couldn't do anything. And that seemed to be the case with him throughout his career until the Michael Todd match, which was a rematch about 5-6 years later after the initial match. In that match, Andrei showed a pretty good flop press, and that was the only reason why he was able to defeat Michael Todd and get his revenge. And nobody can tell me that since the day Oleg Petrenko lost to John Brzezinski a couple of years ago, he has not been training on his flop press. Because if he had that move in that match, he would have won it. So that was a weakness which was exposed by John Brzezinski. Of course, he must be working on his hand a lot so that he doesn't even need a flop press to win a match. But he cannot neglect that his flop press strength was lacking in that match. But what we cannot compare between these two matches is the ability to hold a flop press between John and Devon. Yes, Devon seems to be stronger everywhere by a mile, at least now, compared to John Brzezinski. But if we compare a 58-year-old version of John Brzezinski, him defending against a flop press, and this 105 kg version of Devon, I'm not really sure if Devon is stronger in that manner. Because we have seen that Michael Todd is the best at defending against a flop press. Not preventing a flop press, but defending once the guy is in a flop press. And John Brzezinski also used to be pretty good. He was able to hold Jerry Caderet in his flop press. This is something which Devon LARRATT cannot do even in his prime. And we also need to keep in mind that Oleg Petrenko's flop press has to be stronger than what it was against John Brzezinski. So Devon will be facing a tougher opponent with possibly lesser defense capabilities against that move. Now the natural question is, if Devon can just hook Gennady Quickvinia trying to prevent his flop press, why wouldn't he do the same to Oleg Petrenko as well? And he may very well do that. I'm not denying that. But once there are some high stakes against a fast top roller, if he can switch the move, first he can indicate that he's going for a flop and then he switches to a top roll, Devon may be in some trouble. I'm not saying by any means that Petrenko is going to beat Devon, but I'm just listing out the possibilities, how it can happen if it happens. This is what Devon said about this upcoming 105 kg title match against Petrenko. I think I am a pretty good arm wrestler in this category. He's impressive, but I just think that I am very big in this class. I have a long arm, I have a big hand, and I have a lot of experience, and I would be his teacher. Devon is really impressed with the portfolio of the matches that Petrenko has won. Chan Shaw, Marcio Barboza, Kidargali Ongarbayev and David Dadikian, because he didn't lose a single round against any of these. Well, technically he lost one round against Chan Shaw, but that was on fouls. But still Devon is really confident that this match is going to look completely one-sided, especially once it stops. It is all over after that. Do you think Petrenko has any chance of defeating Devon? Will his flop press work against Devon? Because I have no doubt that he is going to lose his wrist. It's just a matter of fact what he does after that. Thanks for watching, like the video and subscribe.